at. I talked to a friend of mine, and he was trying to explain to me, because I wanted a good definition, and I explained this one time, but I think you'll listen differently. I asked him to give me the definition of what a cataract is. Okay? And so the description of a cataract that was given to me by him was even better and more helpful than I had expected it to be. Now, as we start talking about receiving blessings, and when God starts to teach us to give, you're going to see me go through the process, and I may one day you come in here, have the entire pulpit decorated or laid out like a dialysis center. Okay? And I will learn it. I want to learn it. I want to learn the science of it. I want to learn it as sharp as a lot of you have had to go through dialysis with others. But I need to show you that what I know right now about the dialysis center is that when a person goes into dialysis, they first must submit. You can't fight the treatment. And where the treatment is long, it requires you to have patience or submit to death. Because what happens during dialysis is someone takes all of your blood out, takes it through a filter, cleans it up, and puts it back into your body. Now I may have said some things wrong in that quick definition, so if I did, when I teach on it, it won't be wrong at all, I promise you. But the process is you sit down and they take your blood, take it out, clean it up, because your kidneys are not functioning right, or liver or whatever is not functioning, to clean it, and they put it back in you, and then you go on and have a healthier life. But you have to do this 2 or 3 times a week sometimes, at least once a week, if you want to continue to live. If you don't, the reason you have to is because if you don't, you walk around with dirty blood, and dirty blood will kill you. So the best way to live is to submit and get your dirty blood out, let them take it through the cycle, and put it back in you, so you now have clean blood. Let me just break it down, because some of y'all looking at me like you're looking for some criticism. A lot of y'all, the reason you're not having success is because you holding on to some dirty money. Oh yeah, you don't want to submit and say, God, take this, run it through your filter, clean it up. He said, I didn't. He said, give, and it shall be given. See, you don't trust God to give it back. We're not ready for that yet. See, that's lateral thinking. You didn't know you were housing dirty blood. You didn't know you were housing dirty money. You didn't know that in order for you to achieve, you've got to submit and saying, God, take this. Now, before you ever start going through the process of dialysis, they have to open up your arteries and veins. They got to make room. It takes a minute. And so what we're doing right now, some of you are like, okay, when can we start? When can we start? You're not even having the time for the prep. You still worried about getting out of church in 30 minutes. No, you got to get prepared for what's about to happen. It's the same thing that happens when a young man gets drafted straight out of college into a professional sport. Here's this guy probably having $40, $50 sent to him by his mom and dad every other week in college. With his scholarship, he's got some things, but $40, $50, and now in a 2-week period of time, he has just been drafted, picked up. That means selected. This guy's going from having like $50 a week to a $5 or $10 million contract a year. How do you treat? Do you know your friends change when you go from 50 to million? Some of you, do you understand that? Do you know if you don't have some lateral thinking, what will happen? First thing will happen is all your $50 friends will want to be millionaires. The second thing will happen is you'll start telling people about your millions and spending your millions, and whatever got you drafted, you won't be able to work on that art, and so now you lose all of it because you are no longer good at what you were good at because you have been introduced to a different kind of luxury. There are people who don't want you around right now. Okay, let me, because I'm talking to my church for a minute. And later on, they won't want you around. They will want the benefits of being around you. It's called your money. Don't fool yourself. You're still ugly. I'm not insulting you. I'm just telling you stuff you've been hearing since you were born. But now you got stuff in your pocket called Franklins and Lincolns, and they smiling. You can't buy new looks, but you can pay for people to not look. Now, please don't go telling somebody pastor called you ugly. I just used an example. If you're short, they've been calling you short all your life. But when things change for you, people will excuse your condition because of your new situation. And if you don't learn to think lateral, you will think that they're your friends. Sometimes we wonder why we don't experience success. We don't think lateral. It's because as soon as we give a concert, all our friends want free tickets. And do you know how many friends you had? That's a whole section of the concert right there. And every one of those seats becomes like $150 or $200 or whatever. And if you give that away, that's your profit. And then all your friends want to come to your dressing room. And you can't practice, and so these people who were your fans don't want to hear you anymore because you have no voice, because your friends, they wanted to get in free, sit up close, go to the stage, be a part of your entourage. And because you weren't trained or taught about lateral thinking, you only thought that your success was supposed to last one time. Your success has a schedule, and it's until you die. Yeah, you see, when I don't like the pressures that come with being a pastor, when I don't like the thought of people saying things because I have to make decisions, when I don't like the thoughts of all of a sudden, man, it's tough where I am, guess what? It doesn't change. It doesn't change. People do. The folk that I see go, and new ones come, and they're the same as the ones who go. If they don't understand what my function is. So I have to start thinking lateral. I have to start thinking, seeking first the kingdom of God. And I have to start thinking about, okay, God, what do you want me to do in this situation? He said the same thing I was trying to tell you 15 or 20 years ago, 5 years ago. I'm God, I change not. You will. But stick with me, I'm already where you're going. And if you want to get where you're going, follow my instructions. Take 2 baby steps forward. Father, may I? Yes, you may. Rickie, yes. Take 2 giant steps backwards. Ah! I don't even want to say, Mother, may I? But Father, may I? Yes, you may. How could you get back here following God's instructions? Sometimes God just wants to see if you're listening. Would you tell somebody real quick, you don't stay back long. So I asked my friend to give me a description or a definition of cataracts. And here's a definition, and as I tell you about it, I want you to think about spiritual cataracts. Okay? I'm going to give you the natural definition or the natural translation, but I want you to think about spiritual cataracts. Okay, in medical terms, cataract is a clouding over the lens of the eye. Now I want to ask my audio visual team to help me to visualize on the screens behind me what it can look like for us to look through a lens. And you don't have to get close to me. Just let the people that are looking at the screens cloud if you can. I need you to cloud what they see. Make it cloudy. I don't know how to define that. That's kind of like what I'm talking about right there. It's not taking it out of complete focus. It's just making it cloudy. I don't know if we can do the center screen that way, but look at the two outside screens. That's creating a cataract. Person with a cataract sees it like that. Now, for some of you right now, that's kind of irritating, and you're kind of frustrated because you want, okay, now quit playing. And some of you right now, if you're over 40, I know what you want to do. You want to take the glasses off and do this. See, because over 40, your vision starts to change, and what you needed glasses to read, now you need them off to see. Isn't that amazing? If you wait just a few more years, you can see better. Why do we over 40 miss so many exits on the freeway? Because the signs are too far. We're still traveling like we're 30. We're driving like we're 20, and the signs get a little closer before you say, oh, shoot, because you didn't recognize it until you were right up on it. Can I get a witness in here? How many of us in our lives miss some of the exits that God has for us because we're trying to travel like we're 20? You're driving like you're 30. As you get older, you might need to just slow down. The roads haven't changed, but the way you see it has. I just see things now. I just see the benefit of lateral thinking. What's it going to cost?